And we're almost off for the 24 laps of Le Mans, and we are go. With a stalling start for Ben. Tonin is off quick, Kimi is slow, Cub around the outside, but that's Artemis and Salami crashing Cubs and gets taken out. Ben just absolutely McQueens them. Kimi is involved as well. And there will be a restart red flag. As the cars are slowly lining up to the grid for the second start of the afternoon here in Le Mans. Tonin in the back spot next to Ben. Where's Artemis? Artemis needs to line up. Tonin moving around, just going for a bit of a better position there. Artemis just comes now, the countdown is already starting. What's gonna happen now? Transmissions are absolutely cooked right now. And we're almost off in Le Mans. And oh, that's a jump start for almost half the grid because of wrong transmission. Well, that's gonna be restart. Let's go to the commercials. So I can see that the broadcast is back now. The commercials kinda overshot the race. We're now on lap 9 of the Grand Prix. As we follow Ben going through the final sector. Oh, that's a bit wide from the Dutchman. Didn't gain time there though. Here goes Tonin through the final bend. Ben goes off. Tonin has a crash. That was a crash in turn 1. Salami's coming back on Ben. That was Kimi Raikkonen 7 out in turn 1. As there is now a car stuck on the track. Salami overtook Ben. Salami overtakes Tonin. Kimi had issues. Artemis has issues as well, his teammate in the final corner. And will there be a safety car is kind of the question on everybody's mind right now. The safety car driver is asking for confirmation, but he can't quite get it up until now. Cub in the lead still. For the past 9 laps, Cubson has led the race. As the safety car is now being called for the Kimi Raikkonen incident. Sun, and we can see the safety car coming in right now. As Kmoy has joined the back of the pack. He has unlapped himself after not making it to the start. The pack has just been given the clear, led by Cubson. We have Cubson, Tonin, Salami, Ben in front. And then the 2 Renaults and the 2 BMWs behind. Dare has retired. As we are going off for lap 11 right now. Cub sends it. Salami is... Noah is awake, it looks like. He's gonna send it down the inside of Ben. Turns into the outside. He just cut that corner. Makes the overtake though. Anyways, Kmoy, his teammate, is gonna follow him. And he puts Ben off. And lets Kimi through as well. As we are now onto the long back straight. It's Cub from Tonin, from Salami. Tonin past Salami. Then Noah, then Kmoy. Then Kimi, then Ben, then Artemis. Artemis behind Ben as well. As we now have a full... Artemis and Ben are not responding throughout the car trackers. We can't find them on the minimap, and they have crashed. It has just been confirmed as Cub goes wide, hence the lead to Tonin. First time the Polishman doesn't come around the lap as the leader, with exception of the first few starts. Ben and Artemis are back on the track as well now, but they are way behind the leaders as Kmoy is all over the Polishman here. 4P4 here. Salami wide, Cubson wide, Noah wide, everybody crashes. That's a lot of carnage. Artemis and Ben crashed as well. That's probably going to be another safety car here, as that's Noah chasing 4P2. Kimi has a big gap to the car in front. But Artemis here unlapping Cub. Cub has some issues, it looks like. Is he retiring there? Or is he accelerating? No, it's going to be the safety car. It's definitely going to be the safety car. No official pop-up, but we are going to get the confirmation probably that there will be a safety car because of the carnage on track. As this is Kmoy lapping Artemis. Holy damn, he has to brake late for that. Cub is true as well. Artemis has been forced into a massive mistake there after the straight. As Kmoy is behind his teammate ahead of Cubson. 3 experienced lads around there. Kmoy hits the barriers. Cub all over him. Yes, he is. Switchback here is going to go through lap 13. We're almost on it. Tonin is still in the lead here throughout the final bend. Ben is almost getting left. He's just holding on for dear life there. Is the safety car gonna hit still? I am not quite sure anymore. It would be a very late call as Capson crashes in pursuit of Kmoy. And the safety car is only now getting called. As we now see the safety car just absolutely sending it back to the pit lane, cutting across the track here. Pit lane entry. Brakes cuts a bit of the pit lane entry as well. Oh, has a slight drift of the front tire. But he's back in the pits. And he gives the signal that it's ready to go. We are green from Tonin, from Noah, from Kmoy. And Tonin sends it early. He catches Noah lacking a bit throughout the final sector, as the two Renaults are on each other throughout the final sector. Here Ben and Artemis manage to unlap themselves, but already have a big gap ahead to Capson. Kimi here, and Tonin crashes. Tonin has hit the wall from the lead. The leader of the race has crashed, and he is out of the track, but he can rejoin from the pits in his reserve car. As Kimi is now in second to last place, Ben is in last place, and Tonin. He is definitely gonna rejoin, but we are not sure if it's worth the race, as now the two Renaults are in P1 and 2. As Kmoy runs a bit wide there, Tonin is actually rejoining, but there is a request for a safety car, and that might be granted as the car was out of the map. He wasn't even blocking the track, but there were some cars crashing into him, so there will probably be a safety car. And Salami is trying to overtake Kmoy, who has let a bit of a gap to Noah, his teammate in front here, throughout the middle sector and the final sector. He takes the final corner perfectly, as Noah doesn't, and he's into P1 here. Small switching of positions for the Renaults here. Red flag has been thrown out by the stewards and race control for the Tonin incident, as we are gonna restart the race once more. So here we have the final few cars lining up for the third restart of today, excluding safety cars obviously. Some cars are still fidgeting around with where they want to be. The race control is throwing the countdown way too early right now. But we're just gonna go anyways, because this is DF3 and it's chaos all of the time. As Ben is not ready at all, but he goes and he loses out on the start as well. Tonin is not lacking this entire afternoon. Yet another great start, but he taps Kimi. He just spins Kimi, who spins Salami. What just happened there, mate? No more safety cars and red flags been called, as we are now absolutely in overtime if we will do that. So if it isn't possible to continue racing safely without removing the cars, we will just end the race. But otherwise the marshals will try and remove a stopped car. As we now have still the two Renaults in front, Cap in third, and Artemis in P4 here for BMW. His teammate obviously getting crashed out by Tonin. As this might be a 1-2 for Midnight Racing right now, if they can get it through the final 6 laps of the race. We are over 75% done, or at least we're almost 75% done, with the 24 laps of Le Mans Season 4 edition, first running of the 24 laps of Le Mans, and now onto lap 18, 75% of the way there. As the two Renaults are pushing each other. Noah has been overtaken. I missed that. Absolutely missed that. As we are following Cup for some reason, who is in no man's land. Yes, he's chasing him down with Artemis on a solid gap behind. But we should be looking at the battles right now. Anyways, let's get into this. Capson, 1 podium to his name in the second race of the season. Almost won it, and no race wins yet. He has won a race in every season that he's raced, and he's the only driver to do so. Also the only driver to participate in every race, but it has a reason. As we now cut back to the Renaults finally, after my long story. Noah is absolutely on Kmoy. Kmoy makes a mistake. He has been put under much pressure, and that's Capson passing Kmoy down the back straight. Not the big one, but still a back straight. But Kmoy is lining him up here into the final few corners. Probably won't be able to make this move due to the high speed as he just crashes Cub for whatever reason. And then he proceeds to cut the first corner. Alright, Salami has a bit of a power slide, unlike Kimi, who flies past him here into turn 1, as Noah is extending his lead over P2 and 3, who are obviously fighting each other. Artemis now back on Cubs, and he just broke that gap over Artemis, but now is back to square one. Kimi has crashed once more, Tonin almost hits him. Another crash for the BMW driver. Bit of a sad return here in Le Mans. Ben here in absolutely no man's land, although being chased down by, I believe, Salami and Tonin for P5. Kimi has now rejoined in P8. And that's a sad weekend for the Paraguayan mate, as we can see the two Renaults are closing the gap again. Kmoy has locked in after his crash with Cub. 4 more laps here in La Sarthe, as Noah has led most laps of anyone by now, as Salami just cuts across the apron there. That's not how you're supposed to take this corner. Ben might be able to do something in the first sector, as the race control are saying that he will receive a penalty, but if he maybe gives back the position, the penalty might be able to get removed from Salami's name. Bit of a low-key stage of the race, big gaps between everyone, obviously big circuit. 2 Renaults are closing up though. Here Cub again. Kmoy is absolutely pushing centimeters away from the tire barrier throughout that last section of the track, as Tonin has a bit of a mare. He was obviously angry at Ben for the lap 1 accident, which was ruled to be a racing incident, and then proceeds to shit on everybody when there was a huge pile-up, but then throws his race away himself. Noah is pushing so hard he's not even keeping it on the track anymore. Although that lost him time, he lost momentum throughout the cutting is getting called out now, especially Noah is really bad on the cutting as of right now. Kmoy pulls alongside. The 2 Renault brothers are side by side. Midnight Racing drivers, obviously, 2 debut seasons. Obviously Noah debuted via the Midnight Racing program for Benelli Motori system last season at the final round in Venray, as now Kmoy is all over Tonin. Kmoy is pushing, makes mistakes. Tonin. Noah is pushing, makes mistakes. Speaking of Tonin, he's nowhere to be seen. 3 more laps. 3 more laps here in Le Mans. Noah leads 1 more. I was saying earlier that he has led the most laps. Well, that was a mistake. 1 more lap in the lead and he will have more laps than Cub. Currently tied. Obviously, both 11 laps led. Artemis here, behind Cubson still. I believe P4, Cub in P3. And then it's Ben from Tonin, from Salami, from Kimi, who had obviously that mare of a race up until now. The 2 Midnight Racing Renault cars are really close, and the rest is just ages apart, with exception of, was that Ben in front of Artemis? That my Kimi crashes again, but he rejoins. Not a good day for the Paraguayan boy. Kmoy hasn't been able to do something in these past 5 to 7 laps, I'd say. But maybe he can do something in the final 2, as we are now rounding the final sector once more. Twice more, I should say, as we are now onto lap 23 of 24, just edging that wall around a bit of corner cutting actually. Maybe some changes for next season if this race gets extended with their contract. Kmoy taking the slipstream of his teammate Noah. Kmoy, experienced grease mate. He has driven across different kinds of feeder series up until the Dutch DF3, one of the most exciting arrivals of these past few years. The Salami and Tonin are pushing each other. Artemis just behind Ben. Will they be able to do something? This is turning into a tiny little pack. Ben is just slightly pulling away from Artemis right now. But Salami and Tonin are fighting as Salami is true on Tonin. We did not see the overtake. And speaking about the overtake, Kmoy is sending it. He's pushing his teammate into the wall. That was definitely a bit of a dirty move, but maybe the FIA will get no pen, as the only penalty they have is a car in the wall. Will Cub be able to profit from this, as we are almost onto the final lap of the race? Kmoy is slowing down. He's probably waiting for his teammate. He is, because there comes Noah. He is letting Noah through, so no penalty taken for sure now. They have just secured 1-2 once more. Unless there are some penalties, as we can now see that the corner cutting for Noah is becoming way worse and it's under investigation. Ben gets out wide, but he loses time as he had to brake and rejoin the track. Salami passes Ben around the outside there. Final lap of Le Mans. 24 laps have been completed, including a few restarts and a few safety cars, loads of crashes with just 9 drivers on the grid, 8 of them still racing. Obviously Dare retired in the early stages of the race, but the race win is still up for grabs. Cub has now closed up into the tracker range of these 2 Midnight Racing cars. He's just 1 corner behind them. As you can, 2 corners, excuse me. As we are now into the final few corners, Noah is looking to win his first ever race unless the investigation gets bad. As now the 2 Renaults come through, but Kmoy puts him into the wall. Kmoy has won the race, but he has put Noah into a wall. We did not catch it, but in the background you could just see one of the Midnight Racing cars putting him into a wall. But the finishing order is Kmoy from Noah. Now Cub has just passed the line. Kmoy will surely get a penalty for that, because that was just not gentlemanlike. As Cub has crossed the line in P3 there, big gap till Salami, who comes through here. Ben comes through. Ben has actually hit the wall. He's stalling. Is he gonna... Tonin comes, but he crosses the line just in time. Ben in P5, then Tonin, then Artemis. And now it's a big wait for Kimi Räikkönen, who obviously had one of the worst days imaginable for any racing driver. But he will come across the line for 1 measly point here in Le Mans. So the aforementioned investigation about Noah and Kmoy have just come in. They both drop 1 position for the corner cutting with Noah and the crash with Noah caused by Kmoy in the final corner, which now brings Kapsen into P1, winning his first race of the season. Then Kmoy, who finished in front of Noah, and they both got a penalty. That's why Cub has jumped both of them. Then Noah, then Salami, from Ben, from Tonin, from Artemis, and his teammate Kimi in last place. I hope to see you again tonight at the triple header video coming next week probably. Triple header in Power Car, which also has a sprint. Then we move to Silverstone for the Silverstone race and the Stowe race. 3 races and a sprint in 1 night. I hope you will enjoy that, and I hope you enjoyed this race full broadcast this time. And have a nice one, guys.